Okay, what is up, folks? We're live. This is Addy Eds, and we were in the last week of 2021 here on the 28th. Pretty early here in the morning, 22 past 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 0822 military time. I am broadcasting from New York City, covering the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, but this is the Julian Assange podcast, which I'm still finding a bit of time to cover Mr. Assange's very precarious case, a very depressing case, I would say. Unfortunately, we are unable to stream to Twitter once again. Nothing suspicious there. But thank goodness, people, because Donald Trump almost pardoned Julian Assange. More specifically, it was either Julian Assange or Snowden. Uh, of course, as we now know, he ultimately decided not to do that. This is from Ewan Palmer, and during an interview with Candace Owens for the Daily Wire, Trump said he felt a little bit more strongly about one case, but did not specify which one. The one involving the WikiLeaks founder, Julian Assange, or the NSA whistleblower, Edward Snowden. Assange is facing imminent extradition to the United States to face espionage charges over the leak of thousands of classified documents in 2010 and 2011. When Candace Owens asked whether he considered pardoning Assange or Snowden for exposing corruption, Trump replied, "You have two sides of it. In one case, you have sort of a spy deal going on. And then another case, you have somebody that's exposing real corruption. I won't say which one, but I feel a little bit more strongly about one than the other. But I could have done it. I will say you have people on both sides of that issue. Good people on both sides, and you have some bad people on one side. But I decided to let that one ride, let the courts work it out, and I guess the courts are actually doing that. You know, you have a country, and it was some spying things and do some bad things released that really set us back and really hurt us with what they did. But I could have gone. I was very close to going the other way. And surprisingly enough, I cannot guess which one he was leaning towards because it was under Trump's administration, which Pompeo was released with a rabidness uh, to go after Assange. So again, I'm not really sure which one he meant by that. Perhaps he's fibbing and he's just saying that. But Trump appeared to be making reference to the recent British High Court decision to allow Assange to be extradited from the United Kingdom. On December 10th, the High Court ruled that he could, in fact, be extradited to the United States to face espionage charges. Again, this was based on very vague assurances from the United States government. Assange's lawyer, Barry Pollock, described these as, quote, highly disturbing. He added, did Mr. Pollock, the UK court reached this decision without considering whether extradition is appropriate when the United States is pursuing charges against him that could result in decades in prison based on his having reported truthful information about newsworthy issues such as the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Wow, what a relief, guys. What a relief that Donald Trump almost pardoned one of those guys. If only he did. If only he did. And that's one of my biggest sticking points with Mr. Trump. I didn't vote in the 2020 election. Had I voted, I would have either voted for the conservative candidate or more likely for the libertarian candidate, Joe Jorgensen. But this is something that a lot of Trumpers often forget is Trump's failures in office. And let's us not forget that the bar for what is a good president, as far as the past 4 or 5, 6 presidents, is quite low. I think we should admit that. And even if Trump was the best in my lifetime or your lifetime, that's not saying a whole lot. So, you know, why he's even commenting on this, you know, I think it's a good thing he answered Candace Owens' question. But it's a bit bizarre why people are not more critical of Donald Trump for his failure to act either in the case of Assange or Snowden. You have or we saw Obama commuting Manning's sentence for some 7 years, I believe it was, compared to I want to say it was 25 or 30, maybe even excess of that. So Manning did serve some time, but Assange has been incarcerated longer than Manning has, without conviction. Again, he's only been charged without due process. He's been incarcerated for a longer period of time than Manning has. And we got a comment here from one of the viewers, Larry. He says, "quote Trump has turned me against him in that interview." End quote. That's interesting, because many people have many different turning points or points where they change their opinion on someone in a large way, such that it shifts their whole perception of the person. And I'm trying to do more of these podcasts on Assange, even while I'm out here covering the trial in New York City, various angles on it. I'm going to be starting to call people out for not supporting Assange, so you guys get ready for that. It should be entertaining. I think people like it when they see people go at it, and I'm not afraid to do that now. And I got a bit of a platform on Twitter. I think I have a lot more confidence now, as a result of this trial, showing up here and realizing that almost nobody has any real idea what's going on with that case. But that has propelled me to start going after the Assange grifters, but more importantly, the traitors, the people who do not support Assange or who are shills or prostitutes on behalf of the military-industrial intelligence complex. So short and sweet this morning, and I actually might do another one today if I have time. But certainly by the end of this week, I'm going to be doing more Assange podcasts to come. Stay frosty, folks, and check my Twitter for updates on Maxwell. And hopefully we'll get a verdict today.